How's everybody doing today? It is May 19th, 2021. Hope everybody has had a good last few days. Haven't been able to make a video or go live in the last couple days. Just really working a lot right now. Been working really late, and by the time I get home, it's just it's just tough to get stuff put together to be able to make these videos or to go live. But look at this. We talked about this a few nights ago in the live stream. Their new mask rules, where if you're jabbed, you don't have to wear the mask, right? Was a massive setup. It was a perfectly planned attack. I mean, it's going to cause more division. It's going to do everything that we talked about. This is a perfect setup because I told everybody, and I know all of you knew it, that when they said that, when you walk into a store now, two people walk in, neither have masks on, how did they tell? How do they know that you're not just lying, right? That you say you had the jab when you didn't. This just opened Pandora's box, and here you're seeing it already in the mainstream being pushed. It says, new mask rules trust Americans will be honest about jab status. Experts say they'll lie. What do you know, right? Don't you love it that the experts that we're supposed to be listening to are completely pushing their narrative perfectly, right? Says the CDC had an announcement Thursday that fully jabbed people largely no longer need to wear a mask, has left many Americans wondering if there are no enforcement measures, won't people just lie about their jab status? Says public health officials admitted that the honor system will play a large role in the new rules. I mean, you're going to be depending on people being honest enough to say whether they were jabbed or not and responsible enough to be wearing a mask. Dr. F, the nation's top guy, like they want to repeat over and over again. It says there's long been a talk of a jab passport, the model of enforcement in the USA, where jab status grants or limits a person's ability to travel or enter certain spaces. Such a program is mostly a theory, yeah, right. And multiple businesses announced that they won't ask customers to prove their jab status if they shop unmasked. Yeah, that's only a few. It doesn't matter. They don't need everybody to buy in to this setup. They have plenty that already will, which will continue to cause massive incidents, massive arguments, fights. Every time you go in the store, this is all going to build to where they're going to eventually push for the mandatory jab, right? And this all just builds right up to it. Says jab passports are coming. Yeah. Says, although businesses and politicians say they trust Americans to be honest, experts on human behavior aren't so sure. See how they just feed you the answers? They don't ask any questions. They just feed the answers. Well, do you think they'll do it? Oh, they're not asking us. They're telling you right now they're going to lie, Michael McCullough, a psychology professor at the University of California, San Diego, said the new guidance will enable unjabbed people to flout rules with impunity. They're coming after us. Many will lie. Many are lying and have been lying. Says in some ways, this is a really perfect recipe for lots of people to be dishonest about whether they got jabbed. They can say, well, everyone who really is worried about it has gone out and got it done, and my personal risk is low. They're dividing us. People lie all the time. Look at how bad they're pushing this. Said most people lie about once a day, and about 25% of people lie about consequential things, according to this guy. And of course, he's a psychologist, right? He's got 35 years research of lying, cheating, and stealing. Researchers say have long studied lying through a variety of approaches, self-reporting says, fact-checking school and job applications, recruiting participants for record interviews, and analyzing diary entries. Many daily lies relate to the expectation maintenance theory of lying, Cunningham said, trying to maintain cordial social relations by telling people what they want to hear. That's all you're doing to us. You're telling all the masses what they want to hear to put them on your side. Says most of the time we don't lie for malicious reasons, said Kang Lee, a professor at the University of Toronto who studies honesty and deception. I would say that's exactly what we're battling, a battle of good versus evil, honesty and deception, but I can let you know that all of us are on the correct side. There is no doubt we are on this side, and all this evil is on that side. I don't like to get you into trouble. We lie sometimes for pro-social reasons. I want to spare your feelings. Look at this. Mask rules invite deception. The greater the incentive, the lower the risk, the more likely that people are to lie. Said that's a major problem in the context of differing rules for jabbed and unjabbed people. Said it's very, very likely people are going to lie because there's no verification system and no punishment. That's the next thing I wanted to talk about. I believe that just by hearing in this that they're going to make it a law or make some type of enforcement on it, a punishment to if you get caught lying about it, right? Just telling somebody that you did get it and you didn't could actually be punishable by a fine or jail time or something else, right? Says this is not going to work. What do you know? When people show up at the grocery store and if you ask them have you gotten a jab, they'll be more likely to say yes. In the first few days of any indication, many businesses don't even plan on asking customers their status, giving customers even less of a moral dilemma. Says there is a universal or worldwide phenomenon that people have a strong desire to see themselves as honest. A behavioral economist at University of Michigan who has studied whether people are likely to return lost wallets. I mean, can you just believe this? They just continue to push and push and push to give you every part of their agenda that we are a bunch of lying, cheating, stealing people and that we cannot be trusted. And the ones that they are talking about are you and I, all right? Says that's the problem with the CV19 jab honor code. He said, I'm just worried these people will find some self-serving justifications for not getting jabbed without feeling bad about it. You're darn right we don't feel bad about it. Said surveys indicate more than a quarter of all Americans say they don't want to jab. Imagine if about a quarter of that subgroup lies about their status to go maskless. He says people will absolutely be deceptive. So it's going to be a relatively small fraction of the population, but it's going to be a meaningful fraction of the population. That's right. We are meaningful. I agree. You said something true. We're very meaningful because we're fighting against you, right? You know, and they're saying that it's going to be a small fraction, and it's not. It is a much larger fraction than what they are saying. But the reason that they want to continue to push this into the masses, that it's only a small fraction of us fighting back, is so that they can continue to turn more and more people onto their side. The more that they push and say, oh, look, we're the majority, we're the majority, we're the majority, they can continue to get more and more people to jump on that side because they want to be with, right, the group of what is socially approved, you know? Says about 36% of the U.S. population is fully jabbed, according to the CDC. People who are unjabbed are at high risk of contracting and spreading CV19, especially when spending time inside without a mask. Says, do honor systems ever work? In low-stakes situations, honor systems can work well, but unmanned farm stands, for example, where patrons take crops and leave the payment behind, have proved successful across the country. Said it does capitalize on the fact that the majority of the people are honest and even altruistic. Said, and some people who will be flattered that you trust them enough will overcompensate. That will make up for the ones that have been dishonest. But you don't use the honor system for selling houses. In higher stakes settings such as test taking, some institutions have seen a slew of honor code violations. Listen to this, honor code. What are we talking about, right? And oh, of course, it's during the pandemic when millions of students take tests from home. Last month, West Point officials expelled 8 cadets and required more than 50 others to repeat a year of instruction after the most extensive cheating scandal in more than 40 years at the Army's renowned academy, which had a reputation for moral rectitude. Do you get that? They're trying to say, like, oh, look, at even a place that was so good, the Army that never would lie, now look how bad they're doing. So how do you think that these people that don't want to get jabbed are going to lie? It says last week, Dartmouth College accused 17 medical students of cheating on remote tests. Lee said that he published a study that found that exams in pre-pandemic times that were not proctored and were based on honor codes, cheating rates were as high as 80%. So, you know, we're a bunch of cheaters. 80% of us are all going to lie. We're all bad. We're all evil. We all don't care about all these other people going out and getting jabbed. And we don't care about our grandparents. We don't care about, you know, our friends, our family. You know, this is just going to ramp up. They're going to continue to push us more and more and more, paint a picture that we are so bad, so evil, so stupid, so dumb, etc., etc. It's not going to stop. It's going to ramp up, ramp up. Okay? Goes on, and he says, this bioethics professor at NYU School of Medicine said he's nervous people will feel justified in lying because the jab issue has become so politicized in the U.S. Well, who's made it politicized? You have. Non-stop. That is all you've done is completely, you know, politicize this. Look at this really quick. Let me pull this up for you. I want you to see this. Right here. Who's politicizing it? Look at this. 5 days ago, just 45% of the House Republicans say they've been jabbed, while 100% of congressional Democrats say they've gotten the shot. What, you know? Who's pushing this division? Who's pushing it, making it political? You are, because it's an agenda. It says, it's an honor system. Most people don't want the jab on ideological grounds. It said, it's not the same as saying we're going to rely on you to pay at checkout. Well, they agreed, yep. It says, my intuition is, given the situation, a lot of people feel that they are justified not to take the jabs, he said. Therefore, they are going to feel more justified to lie to you as well. I'll give you an answer to this. Yeah, we're justified not to take them, but no, I don't feel justified to lie to you. I don't care. I will tell you, no, I'm not, and still not wear that mask. That's the difference. We are not trying to hide behind the curtain or hide behind, you know, your so-called pushed agenda that you have. We know where the division is. We know where you're coming, where you're going. You aren't hiding it. You're putting it in plain sight on a daily basis, and we see it. And all we can do right now is not fear this, not panic about this. You need to just continue to prepare, talk to your family, talk to your friends as much as you can, because this is ramping up more and more and more. And tonight in the live stream, we will talk about how everything has gone all the way down to the 12-year-olds now, and within the next few months it will go all the way down to 2 years old, then it will actually go down all the way to 6 months old. That is how, you know, far they want to push these jabs. By the end of the year, they want it to be approved, so-called approved, right, to be in 6-month-olds and all the way up. This is a universal thing. This is a worldwide thing, and this is a 100% attack on all of us. So we need to continue to pray against this, continue to stay in the Word, and please, I beg you, if you're not in, you know, if you're not doing well right now, hit your knees, ask for forgiveness, and I promise you that this, you know, will be a day that changes the rest of your life, because right now you need your faith, you need the relationship. I have to have my strength that I get from it every single day, so I cannot, you know, stress it enough how much we need to have our faith right now. But I love you all. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.